Welcome to the CQC Quick Start video series. This is video number 2, the Global tab. So let's go ahead and get started on the setup of the room configuration that we will need to do in order to drive the subsequent steps in this Quick Start process. And as mentioned in the introductory video, we need to have device drivers installed, and it explained which other videos you would want to watch if you need to figure out how to get CQC installed and do basic configuration and how to install device drivers. And what I've done here is install a basic set of drivers which cover the functionality that the room configuration supports, which is lighting, media management, security, thermostats, and weather. You may not have all of these covered, but that's okay. As long as you have some of them, you can go through the process. You just will not fill out all of the information that is available. So if we go to Configure, and one of the options here is System Config, and if we double click that, we get the editor to set up the system configuration. And there are 2 tabs here, Global and Rooms. In this video, we're going to look at the Global tab, which is where you set up most of the information, and in the Rooms is where you define what rooms you have. Then you will reference the information that we have configured here on this main Global tab. So let's go ahead and get started here. I'll just go down through the list. I won't get into extreme detail here because there is written documentation on this, so I just want to give you an idea of how this all works. As also mentioned in the introductory video, one of the things that we will do with this room config information is to spit out a set of nice touchscreen interfaces. In order to do that, we need to tell CQC where that should happen. And some of this may not make a whole lot of sense to you if you haven't gone through all of the tutorial videos yet, but just follow along here. And what we need to do is just create a new scope for those to go under. And they will go into the user section somewhere. And as with all the other videos, I am creating a scope where I will put my own output and my own information and customization information, and you should do the same. You can have more than one, of course, and I'll do that here. So I'll just right click and do new scope, and I will create one called AutoGen. This is where we will auto generate our user interfaces. So let's accept that, and it puts it in, and we need to select some target resolutions. It can spit out multiple resolutions. The default resolution is 1200 or 1280 by 800, and that's what the original content is that it will use to generate the output, and that's fine for my purposes here, and you can enter others as well. Be aware that if you change the aspect ratio, which is the ratio between the width and the height, too much, that you will get distortion, so you need to kind of be careful of that. So I'll accept that. You just have to have some target resolution here before it will allow you to save, so put something in there even if you're not going to immediately use it. So the next thing we can do is define lighting loads, which is light switches, dimmers, and so forth. So what we do here is we are selecting fields within the lighting driver and providing extra information for that, because the information that's in the actual driver is not enough for this. We need to give it readable names or human readable names, and also spoken names if we're going to do voice control. So we need to add extra information to what is available in the device driver itself. So if we click here, we can select one. I'll just show you how this works, and we can give it a title. Often it's best to select the field first so that you know what the title needs to be. And as it says up here, if the dimmer is available, select that, else select the switch, and it will pick the other fields for you. So let's just pick one here. Lighting driver's already selected there. So let's do Family Room Main. And now we can just give this a display title. So we'll just call it Family Room Main, which would be reasonable. And we can also give it a title in terms of how it would be spoken. But in this case, Family Room Main is fine. That's probably how we would say it. And you notice it also automatically found the switch for that same light for us. There's no color control for this particular light, so there's nothing there. So just hit save, and now we have an entry here. And you can do this for various other lights as required. I'll just do one now because I'm just wanting to show you the process and take you through all of the steps. And then once you've done that, I would suggest also you just do a couple at least, and then go through the process so that you know how it really works. And then you can come back and do more and be sure that you're doing the right thing. And next we will deal with thermostats. So let's go down to the next area here, and once again click this button, and we will just select one of the thermostats, which in this case we'll say the house. And this thermos is the device driver, as you can see over here, and it just happens to support 3 different thermostats. So we are picking one of the thermostats controlled by that device driver. Now I'll select the one for the house here, and I'll just give it a title of house. And we could select another one as well, so we'll go ahead and do that. So I'll just select the garage one. So we have a couple of thermostats now. For media, what we can do is select media for movies and music. So click that, and we'll call this one music. And we have to select the repository, which is the driver that provides us access to metadata. And there's only one, so I'll select that. And we have to provide a renderer, which is the thing that plays the media. And in this case, this is for music, so I'll select the music renderer. And this is the device driver that will control volume and mute. And in this case, it's the same one. But if we were to, say, output this player into a multi-zone audio system, we could click here and select which of the zones and that sort of thing. It doesn't have to be the same as the actual player. So now we have one for music. Let's do one for movies. And again, we'll just select that same repository. That's the only one. And for the renderer, we'll select movie renderer this time. Okay, so we have music and movies. Extra overlays, that's an advanced topic. We'll come back to that in a subsequent video. Security devices, so we have a security driver installed. And as before, it will allow you to select from various areas. So we'll just call this one house, and we'll select the house area. And this one has two areas available, house and garage. And for the voice control, we need an arming code so they can actually arm the system for us. And I'll just enter that here. And finally, we will add a weather source. And there's only one weather driver. I'll select that. And it is, I want Fahrenheit scale, and I'll just call this one home. We might add other weather sources for other areas. Okay, so we now have some basic information configured that we can now go add to rooms and generate some touchscreen interfaces. So we'll pick up there in the next video.